You have found the 2-minute tip. I'm Rich Sands. So with New Year's celebrations barely even in the rearview mirror, maybe it's time to sort some things out when it comes to resolutions or goals. So some questions. First and foremost, how many of your goals/resolutions were just made as part of a things I want list? Are any of them really important? Which ones have staying power? Are they prioritized? See, I have this thing about resolutions. I don't make them. To me, a resolution is made on a whim, usually vague, and often only answers this question. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Well, yes, I do. Now, what's worse is the huge amount of statistical data showing us that no one sticks to resolutions. In fact, in a landmark study by the University of Scranton, I know, Scranton. What, do you think Harvard studies this stuff? Just 8% of people kept their resolutions. And to make things worse, according to another source, most people have given up by the second Friday after January 1st. That's like today. Now, I prefer to set goals, totally understanding that this could be a semantic thing. Your resolution could be just as thought out or planned as my goal. Usually, however, that's just not the case. Now, while I'm not the author of or completely immersed into the SMART goal thing, I like the idea that there's more than just wishing in the goal-setting, achieving mechanism. So according to SMART people, your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And by the way, you can Google that, and there are all kinds of cool charts and graphs and tracking devices and stuff for SMART goals. But I believe you also need to create an action plan for a goal. You need to understand the potential obstacles to achieving your goal and have awareness concerning your strengths around that goal and the resources that you have available to you. But more important than any of these components, I think the goals that are likely accomplished are the ones that are important to us. Duh. If a goal is important, even loved, it is much more likely that we're going to do the things we have to do to see them to the finish line. Initially, new goals are like your first skiing lesson. You improve really quickly and your enthusiasm peaks. Then we hit what Seth Godin calls the dip. All of a sudden, improvement slows, and as a result, your interest wanes. At that time, and maybe I'll call it the half-life of your goal, you either push through or you give it up. Well, here's the big point. If it's not important, it's easier to give up. The answer? Well, let's figure out what's really important to us. Gary Vaynerchuk believes that one of the reasons he's so successful as an entrepreneur is that he understands that 95% of what happens to him, stress, anger, whatever, just doesn't matter. The key is knowing what's important, and that is about self-awareness, which might be a topic for another time. So, it's the second Friday. What's the half-life on your goals? Thanks.